Okay, new computer. 1-year-old Corsair 2000D case. ITX. Needs a small form factor power supply. Okay, the bits are second hand and on that popular auction site at the moment. Okay, you can buy a brand new Corsair 2000D ITX case. Okay, with the RGB. So it includes 3 RGB fans, even though you don't have to run them RGB like that. But they come with 3 fans, a fan controller, and an RGB hub up the top for 75 quid. You couldn't buy 3 fans with a controller for 75 quid. And the beauty of these is they're slim, they're 90mm, 3/4 inch deep, and they've got grills on the back, stop the wires hitting. So it's a 1-year-old case. And new, they should be 150 quid. You can buy them for £75 or less. Okay, moving on. If you're doing a Corsair 2000D case, it's micro ITX, or it's just an ITX motherboard. It's the only one you can fit them in. The small motherboards, the smallest size. You've got a micro ITX, mini ATX, ATX, and ATX Wide. You know, these are the smallest boards you can get. Now, you want a 700 series motherboard with DDR5. It'll have an LGA 1700 chip socket, so you can fit a 12th series, 12th gen, 13th gen, 14th gen chip. Okay. For 75 quid, that's a bargain, because the Z790 version of that new is 300 quid. So that's second hand, £75. It's got a bent pin. One of the RAM lanes don't work, but I'll fix that. I've only just switched the blasted thing on, give us a chance. So I've got my chip, motherboard, RAM. My RAM, did I say my RAM? Yeah, my RAM was £110. Power supply units. This is a bit of a nuance, because if you don't know anything about computers, even from last year or the year before, power supply units were available in small form factor. Okay, small form factor was like 130mm deep, but shallow across there, small form factor, and kind of mounted on here and here. Imagine there, that's small form factor. This is an adapter plate to take a small form factor power supply unit into a full-size ATX case. When you buy a Corsair SF-L series power supply, you get the adapter plate, so you may as well buy a 1000-watt SF1000L modular power supply, just in case your case is big or small. Not that it will be, but it's smaller anyway. The fan and all the, you know, electronics. Moreover, okay, if you buy a new Corsair power supply, the connections into it have changed. Right now, they've become Type 5. Type 5. And the physical plugs are smaller on the PSU power supply unit end, not the other end. You've got to think about these because they're a year old. Supplied in the box. Supplied in the box. You get a 4000 series NVIDIA cable. 3 blocks of 6, 3 blocks of 6, and the 4 on top with the 600 watt written on it for NVIDIA cards in that box. Normally they're what are they normally? SFL one, you know, you can get a second hand one for 140 quid. New other 135, you know, 135 quid. I've saved myself £45 now on another second hand one. £90, I'm having that. Thank you very much. So I've got my case, motherboard, chip, RAM. Small form factor power supply unit, great. Put on your shopping list, whatever you do, a SanDisk thumb drive. No more than 32 gig. You'll be so tempted to buy a 64GB or 128GB USB flash thumb drive. SanDisk Cruiser. Don't get a bigger one. You have to get a 32GB one or less, because this is what you're going to put your BIOS update on if you're buying second-hand boards. Because immediately you're going to go to the manufacturer website of the second-hand board you bought, update the BIOS, because that's just what you do. And then you put that in a little plastic bag and you just put it in. You know, you put it in, so if you have any problems, you've always got the BIOS ready to go. You know, flash the pins. That board doesn't have a BIOS flashback button. You just got to flash the pins on the battery terminal and load the USB stick and away it'll go, he says. NVMe drives have become cheap, used. Fresh pulls from a brand new HP Z2, whatever, £47.50 each. You can't believe that. Look, I bought 2 for £90, but they're Gen 4, 1 terabyte solid state drives, NVMe's. You may as well just buy 2, because you know, years ago when they were 200 quid, last year they were, 1 terabyte drive was 200 quid when they first come out, but they went down to 120. You know, fresh pulls. It's just keeping the budget down. Okay, so I've got my crap graphics card. Right, crap. I've got my case, 75 quid. Motherboard, you know, 7 series DDR5 board, 700 series ITX boards, 300 quid. You can't get second-hand ones because it's a bit unique, isn't it? The micro ITX factor. These you can find now. You can find them used or pools or whatever. RAM's RAM, but that's cheap. You need one of them. NVMe drives are cheap now. If you're using an ITX board, okay, you have to buy a USB splitter with this doohickey on it. I don't know why, but on an ITX board, they're not designed to have liquid coolers and other stuff, and RGB, I suppose, because they go in small form factor cases that haven't got any glass on them, you know, so you don't need the RGB. So there you go. There you have it. Don't forget your thermal paste. Don't forget your thermal paste. £1.20. Silicon thermal paste. What else did I say? The cooler. The cooler in that. Look what an idiot. Look, I bought a Kraken. Because I bought an nzxt H6 Flow, I bought a Kraken. Look at that, what a bird. Look, I took the filter off inside here just so I could see the fucking thing, and I can't get the filter back on now without unscrewing it. I can't be asked to do that. But what I would do now is I would just go to Amazon. I would go to Amazon and buy an Arctic freezer. Free fan job. Beauty about this, you've got the CPU hold down frame. Let's see. Look, comes in the box. CPU hold down frame. You undo the spring and the spring and the thing. You take the old style clip off. Okay, and you bolt down the Arctic. You get that free in the box. I'll show you the price. You won't believe it. Normally these are like 20 quid or upwards. You screw that down onto your LG 1700 or LG. This is why it's such a con. That fits, so they say, an LGA 1851 chip. So what's the difference between an 1851 chip and an LGA 1700 chip if Arctic claim that this fits both? I don't know. But you can see across these two threaded bungs, there's a curved piece of spring steel. But when you tension this and this, it applies even pressure across a surface area rather than these two clips pulling it down across the middle. Do you get me? There's only pressure here and here with this style clip, but when you go across here and here with a big metal plate, it's even pressure, something like that. But just to get that, that's great. The other groovy thing about these is in the pump head itself. In that pump head itself, there's a fan here. So all your what's this called here? Not VRM, is it? What's it called? Oh, these regulating modules. Here, the heat sinks are thin this way, aren't they? The fins run like that. So this has got a fan, not this fan. This fan is it's just a plastic fan, but it blows air across the heat sinks of the VRM. No other one does it. This is a magnetic thing that just unclicks and clicks. And and the wiring for the fans, you know, you can't tidy wirings on these fans because, especially on that case, you've got to constantly pull the cooler in and out while you're building it. The wiring on this is like the corsair cooler. I can't remember springs, but the fan wires come down the pipes like they do on that other on the other version. Yeah, they come. The fan wires come down this rating out here and onto the motherboard. You wouldn't believe the price of that. You know, for that, it hasn't got. Everyone's thinking, oh, I want RGB, and I want a I want an LCD display. We think, well, you don't need an LCD display on your pump head with a Corsair 2000D non-RGB case. So what are they? 67 quid. Again, you can buy 3 fans for £67, 22 quid a fan, and then you get all of that with the hold down plate. Unbelievable. The missus can buy me one of them. So I bought that second hand, £95. Second hand, because it's got that. It's in there. This is the date. Look. Yeah. But I'm gutted about my RAM stick not being recognised. But what's the total? Let's do the total. Let's do the total. Case 75, motherboard 75 is 150, CPU 60, and the RAM is 110, and the PSU was 50. That's 200, 250, 310. 2 NVMe is £95, 405, splitter 410, cooler 505, something, and the GPU was 120. 725 quid. Very good. It's nice frame rates. That's about the end of it, really. I'm not saying more about this case, but no one. You see, when your offspring will turn around to you and say, "Dad, I want a gaming computer," and you go, "Well, I want a goldfish case with some disco lights in it," then don't I? No, you don't. You want computer power, you know. Go and buy a Radeon 7900 XTX for 600 quid before Christmas. They're going to be bringing out new gear, don't worry about that, and build your system around that. I'm hoping that a Radeon 7900 XTX will go in this case, and I'm going to buy another motherboard because that one's fecked. But I might get, you know, an 1851 ITX boards. I don't even think they exist yet. I don't even think any of them have been made. And the new Intel i9 chip, whatever it's called, I can't remember. But there you go. So you got to have a start. You know, you see what I'm saying? You need the lowest to jump from. You need the lowest to jump from just to get yourself up and running. And that's the trick. So for £725, got a lovely Corsair 2000D non-RGB goldfish bowl, full mesh case. You know, you live in the West. Imagine you can't have a massive computer when you live when you got a tiny little bedroom. That's the size of an A4 piece of paper. That is quite tall. You know, so what? You just need the desk space. The fans that come with it for 75 quid, it's almost like you bought 3 fans and a controller and you got a free case, and it's lovely. It is really, really lovely. The way it all clips together is just mustard. It's really hard to build into. It's really, really difficult to do because you've got to... My tip is, do the front fans last. Do the front fans last because they're easy. Don't fit the massive AIO in first and do the fans from the front. What I'm saying about this Arctic thing as well, this Arctic freezer, I'm sold. All the industry awards, but what it doesn't show you in the adverts as well, it don't tell you that it's got a fan on the pump head, right? And it doesn't tell you that the radiator is about twice the thickness of its competitors. I mean, it's people just doing the advertising. That's probably why they haven't sold, because you know, it's all about cooling. Yeah, look, the thickness. Look, it's a 38mm thick radiator. Everything else is tiny, like 1/4 of an inch. So there you go. Radiator thickness, 38mm. It's going to be a squeeze getting in there. That's what I'm saying about the thin fans that come in there for nothing. I'm going to have the 38mm radiator with a 19mm fan on, my stack's going to be, is it going to be much the same? What's my stack going to be? I'm only losing 6mm, so you know, maybe. Well, it'll go in anyway because I'm going to make it go in for massive graphics. And there you are. And look at that idiot looking kraken in there. Look, I took the grill off to see it. You can't, so it's pointless. Great, so that's about it. And 750 lids for a brand new case. This is the thing, buy a brand new case and fill it with second-hand parts, because they're second-hand as soon as you take them out of the box. You know, no warranty, so what? You just sell it on. You know, Boom Shack, Funky Lyrics under attack. Just don't forget that USB splitter if you've got an ITX board and you're thinking of putting an AIO on it. And don't forget your SAN disk, no more than 32 gig, format it FAT32. Put the latest BIOS. It's so confusing. They go, put the latest BIOS on, and you think to yourself, oh, it run with the first one. Why am I updating it right the way past everything? Surely I'm going to give myself problems. No, everything's on there, and everything's on there, if you see what I mean. And don't forget your thermal paste. There's nothing worse than nailing the computer together. Okay, you think, oh, I really want to turn it on. You can't, unless you've got thermal paste between the CPU face and your cooler. It's so easy to cook the chip. Switch it on and just leave it. You're going to melt stuff. Yeah. Nuts and bolts. Don't buy them hammers, they're crap. And there you go. Yeah, shopping list. There's a little shopping list for you. It's the searches. It's the searches. Just keep everything Gen 4, PCIe Gen 4, Z790 DDR5. Buy one of them power supplies at 850 watts. You know, nothing smaller. Go ITX. You can do it. It's just great because it doesn't take up space on the desk. It's most important. Otherwise, it goes on the floor. As soon as you put it on the floor, okay. As soon as you put your computer case on the floor, and especially on carpet, the thing's fecked because it'll be full of dust. And if you got pets, man, the fluff would just, you know, I can take the dust filter off there because there's not going to be any dust anywhere. And that's good. Alright, I'll leave it on that note because this is the consumer advice. Go ITX. Buy one of them cases. It's the nicest looking case in the world. Better than the Lian Li 011 mini glass. Better than nzxt H6 flow. You know, I bought one of them Lian Li all mesh things as well. It hasn't even arrived, and I bought that, and it come before it. Buy stuff in the UK comes next day. You know, and don't get out of the habit of wanting to press the on button. Just leave stuff so you got all the parts. Never build anything at 9 o'clock at night either. You know, give yourself time and light. Most important. Okay, thank you, please. Goodbye.